Hi everybody, my name is Shannon and welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you could go ahead and hit the like and don't forget to hit the subscribe button before you leave, I would greatly appreciate it. If this is your first time visiting me, thank you for taking a chance. I talk about knitting and crocheting and crafting and yarn, as you can tell, lots of yarn and making things. Today's Friday, and Friday I've dubbed as Fun Size Friday, and I like to make little creatures, right? Something, what do I have over here? Okay, well, this one's not so tiny. Things like this, right? Little amigurumis, just whatever. Pulling them off my shelf, knocking things over, things along that line, right? I'll put it back up, it'll be fine. And showcasing that. So I bought some books. Really, they're inexpensive books. You can get them, depending what country you're in, you can get them for about $12 shipped to you from Amazon. And this is one of them. This is the Ocean. So you've got 26 mini amigurumis. So this is the Ocean series. I have the Animal series and the Bird series, and they have been so much fun. I started off thinking, it'll be about 6 months, 26 weeks, right? 6 months to get through the first book. And then I bought this one. Yeah. And then my friend gave me the bird book. So I've got lots to choose from. And then I also decided, I don't have to stick to just these gorgeous books. These books are printed by 50 Search Press. The author is Sarah Obandio. Okay, I'll show you the name because as you can tell, I have some issues pronouncing that. And I like these. If you're going to purchase a book, actually spending money for a pattern, these are nice because there's 26 patterns in the book. 26 patterns. It's a cute little book. Look at that. It's really a tiny little book. But there's 26 little patterns in here. And this right here retails for $12.95. You can get that on Amazon. About $10, $11. Sometimes it'll be that $12.95. This one, I believe I got at Joann's. They had it on sale for 20% off. And some people were talking about libraries. You can get certain books, and I don't know if this is one of them, but they also have digital copies. So you can get a hold of your local library. And if they have a digital copy, maybe not this one, but any knitting or crochet book, try it out before buying it. Highly recommend that. But I like these for budget conscious. I like these that there's 26 patterns for, even if you paid full price, $13, 50 cents a pattern. That's great. Budget friendly, that's great. And these are so tiny. They use like this much yarn, right? They use depending on what weight of yarn you're using, it's the yarn that you would throw away after a project that you think, I can't do anything else with it. It's not going to work. I don't want to hold on to it. That's how much yarn these things take. They're like little sips, just a tiny little sip of yarn. It just, it's like, it's scraps. It really, really is scraps. So I like doing this series to show a finished project because sometimes we just need to have a little bit of, I did something, an accomplishment. And the mini, tiny, the little tiny critters. Wow. Okay, having problems. The miniature amigurumi are perfect for that. Some amigurumi is larger and it can take a couple days to make or a lot longer. I was being generous on the couple days. These are tiny. They have very few stitches per round, minimal shaping. You do have multiple pieces that you get to sew on. So, your mileage may vary on that. You can add character when you sew them on. That's my way of saying that you sew things on crooked, because I sew things on crooked. But it's okay. It's just how that works. So I picked this week a pattern out of here. I decided I'm going to do sea creatures. The most I've done is in the first book, obviously. I just got this one, and I have done, before today, 2 patterns. I've done this nice little turtle, and I think it is just so cute. I did it in sparkle yarn, pink and, 2 colors of pink, both hot pink and light pink. And then what was the next one I did? The next one I did right here was the little yellow and white fish. So today, I decided that one was cute. but I need your help. See how it's got all the little tentacles down there, right? You know, it's got the little eyeballs and the tentacles, and it's just this cute. It's so adorable. I made this. I used the big twist yarn. I know it's a shock. I've been working on blankets for our blanket squares for the Boggy Creek blankets, and I had my hot pink next to me, and I'm working on different squares. And I thought, you know what? I haven't done my Fun Size Friday thing. Let me grab what I have next to me, because isn't that how that works? And it just uses a tiny bit of yarn. And what I did, I didn't have enough to work on a full square. It would just be a couple rows or something like that, and then, you know, more ends to tie in. So look at this. Look, isn't it cute? That is adorable. I like it just like that. Now, if you've been around, you know, patterns are suggestions. You don't have to follow it 100%. It's there. If you want your thing to look exactly like the thing in the book or the pattern page that you bought or acquired somehow, right? Free pattern, paid for pattern, whatever it is, then yes, you want to follow that 100%. If you can, get the yarn that they're talking about. Oh my gosh, get the yarn they're talking about. That happens occasionally here. It does. Every once in a while, I actually have the yarn for the pattern. You know, so if you want it to be exact like that, that makes sense. But this is an amigurumi. You have the ability to change things. So I liked that, and I like the little tentacles. Do we have a bigger picture? I guess it doesn't matter. Look at it. Look at it sitting right there, right? So I've got my little guy right here, guy, girl, whatever. And I think it's adorable as is. So do I add all the tentacles? I left the one string right now because I don't know if I want to add the tentacles. I have more of this pink yarn, and then I've got other pink yarns, and I even have textured yarns because that's the other thing. Let me pull up the actual page because they had some really cute examples. Look at this. So on this one, they're using some novelty yarn with it. You know, here you've got just a normal yarn, and then you can add the novelty yarn and make that difference. You got bumps, boucle, different styles of yarn for the tentacles. And I think it looks fantastic. And that's great if you're wanting to hang it up. Just laying there, that's going to be a tangled mess, my opinion, especially if the kids get a hold of it. You know, the dog wants to eat it. So I wasn't sure. So help me out. Should I add tentacles? Should I add just the strings and stuff? I mean, you can get the idea with just the one, or weave that in and leave it as it is. I think it's an adorable little thing. If you make it longer, it's like the little ghosts that people are making. I used to make things very similar to this, and on the bottom, I would have bobbles. I know, it's a surprise. It looked like a little scrubbing bubble. If you remember those, right? It did. It looked like a little scrubbing bubble, had the eyeballs on it and everything. And I would pass them out just because they're cute and you could make them. So I did that, and I enjoy it, and I think it's cute, but I need help. I need you guys to help me out with that. And then, you know, since I was having fun and I had this yarn. This was leftover yarn that I did not have enough to finish a square. And then this was sitting next to me too. This is kitchen cotton. I did not have enough to make anything real with this, right? I just had a little bit. I'd already done the washcloths with it, and this was left over, and I put blue eyes on. See the little blue eyes? Look at that. Isn't that cute? Look at that. It's just, I got the cute. And I did the same thing. And I don't think I'm gonna do the string. So I think that's, excuse me, I think I have to pull that in and leave it as is. What do you think? I mean, I thought those were so adorable. Scrap yarn, scrap yarn. You can have these on hand and just pass them out to little kids when they come over and visit, something like that. Really fast, really cute, really simple to make. Tell me what you would do. Would you leave the ends, turn it into the so-called little octopus that the pattern says? Would you pull them in and just make it just this adorable, quirky little critter, right? I just love them. So if you've been around a while, you know I like to play with different weights of yarn. Bigger yarn, smaller yarn. Not the biggest fan of large weight yarns. Not yet, okay? That's just my preference. If you love them, go for it. Your stuff gets done fast. That's awesome. Me, it confuses me. I use smaller weight yarn. So if I look at something, and some of those big weight yarns, they have like 85 yards for a 100-gram skein or something like that, right? You know, you see your yardage are small, or some of them I've seen, they'll have like 65 yards in the ball of yarn. And I'm like, well, how many of those do I need to make a hat? I don't get it. I like to make hats. I'll make hats sometimes out of fingering weight yarn or sport weight or something. And the fingering weight, if you're getting a 50-gram ball, it's like 215 yards for a 50-gram ball, or 400 plus yards for a 100-gram ball. Okay, I know what I can get out of that. I'm very familiar with what I can accomplish with a 50-gram ball of fingering weight yarn or a 100-gram ball. You give me a 100-gram ball of a bulky, super bulky weight that has 65 yards, I'm confused. Do I need 4 more balls? I don't know, because I'm used to a yardage portion. That's just my paradigm. I guess if I used it more, I'd figure it out. So you know that's going somewhere, right? You know that's not just a story. So I have these two. And then I had sitting next to me crochet cotton, number 10 bedspread thread. You know, the Aunt Lydia stuff, crochet cotton. Look at that. Look how tiny. Look how tiny that is. So I used a steel crochet hook. I think I used like a 8 or something. Really a tiny one. It's over there. Really, really tiny. One of those that you can barely see the hook on. Look how tiny that is. Look at that. Look in comparison. Yeah, this is so miniature. Do I have my tape measure? Yes. Yes, I have a tape measure. Imagine that. I have a tape measure. I do. I have a tape measure. I have a little piggy tape measure. I like my tape measures. I am so childish. It's okay. Hey, my little tape measure. All right. This thing from the bottom little flowery thing all the way across is just over 1 inch. Yeah. That's counting the little petals. That's just over 1 inch long. That is tiny. So it's the same pattern. This is a worsted weight cotton, kitchen cotton. This is the number 10 bedspread thread. These are seed beads right there, because obviously I couldn't get any safety eyes into that thing. And here you go. So Fun Size Friday, I got a little carried away, had a little bit extra fun. I don't know where I'm going to put these, right? I think these are so cute for the Random Acts of Kindness. If you are interested in a Facebook group, I should probably pin that down below. It's not my group, but I'm part of it. Random Acts of Crochet Kindness. Wow, I am so tongue-twisted today. Sorry about that. What they do is they'll just make cute little things like this. Just leave them all over with a note that makes it very obvious that whoever finds it can take it home with them. And just to brighten somebody's day. That's all it's for. It's just to brighten somebody's day. And these are just so adorable. I'm in love. Yeah. And I didn't leave anything on the end of this one to hang down because I thought that would just really be, I mean, let's face it, this by itself is a choking hazard. You don't have to add string to it. This by itself, you give this to a child, you don't have to worry about safety eyes. They can eat the whole thing. And it's a choking hazard. That's tiny. That is so tiny. That's the micro crochet, right? I guess since I went really, really tiny, I probably should have, I probably should have done the bulkier weight too. But nope. That's not my favorite. I have some, and I have some pretty velvet, and I have some other pretty colors. Look at that. Look. That is so cute. All right, everybody. Tell me, are you guys making fun things? What are you doing that makes you smile, that makes you laugh? And I am going to let you guys go. You have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. Bye-bye.